They carried the carpet in at night. 2 servants. No words, no eye contact. Just a rolled bundle big enough to hide a body. Inside it, a queen held her breath. The guards laughed as they passed, unaware that the most dangerous weapon in Egypt was already inside Julius Caesar's chambers. When the carpet unfurled, she did not kneel. She did not tremble. She met his eyes and smiled like she already owned him. That was the night Cleopatra stopped running for her life and started rewriting history. How did a 19-year-old queen, exiled from her own palace, convince the most powerful man in the world to fight for her throne? Cleopatra did not inherit a fairy tale. She was born into a family that solved problems with poison. Brothers killed sisters. Mothers killed sons. Every crowning in Egypt required a burial. At 18, Cleopatra was forced to rule beside her little brother, who she was expected to marry. When she refused to be silent, he exiled her with no army and no allies. Egypt called it tradition. Cleopatra called it a cage. Then Caesar arrived in Alexandria. He came not as a savior, but as a debt collector. Her brother sent bribes. Cleopatra sent a message. Not written on paper, but wrapped inside a carpet. She would not walk in like a beggar. She would appear like a secret. When the servants rolled her out onto Caesar's floor, he saw not a desperate girl, but a daring strategist who understood his language. Not Latin, ambition. She told him Egypt could make him immortal. She needed a throne. He needed a legend. Together, they could build both. Caesar agreed. When her brother's forces attacked, she stood beside Caesar while the palace burned. Her brother drowned trying to escape. At 21, Cleopatra was crowned pharaoh, and when her son was born, she named him Ptolemy Caesar, the son of Julius Caesar, a claim more dangerous than war. For the next 7 years, Cleopatra ruled Egypt as a living goddess. She dressed as Isis, her temples glittering with gold, her court scented with myrrh and power. Rome whispered her name with awe and fear. Caesar placed her statue in the Temple of Venus. Senators warned that Cleopatra would one day rule Rome itself. When Caesar was assassinated, her name was on the list of enemies, not mistresses. She tried again with Mark Antony. For a brief moment, she rose to the height of power once more. Together, they became the most feared alliance in the Mediterranean. But Rome never forgot its hatred of her. They called her a witch, a serpent, a foreign disease poisoning Roman power. When war finally came, they branded her not as a queen, but as a threat. After Antony fell on his sword, dying in her arms, Cleopatra understood what Caesar once told her in private. Rome does not share power. It consumes it. She would not let them turn her into a trophy. She chose her ending as boldly as she chose her entrance. She held out her arm, lifted the serpent, and let the venom crown her on her own terms. History calls her a seductress. But seduction alone cannot move empires for 20 years. What Cleopatra truly mastered was sovereignty. She used beauty like a blade, intelligence like an empire, and she made legends kneel without ever letting them own her. A queen does not need a throne to rule. She only needs power. And Cleopatra died with hers intact.